Alright, now I'm going to show you guys how the trigger works, and I'm also kind of fine-tuning it to see if there's anything I need to fix on the trigger before we move on to finishing up the prod and then finishing up the tiller and then adding the prod. So I've put just a regular recurve bow on here. Another bow I've made. This is a 40-pound bow. At this length, it's about 20-25 pounds. So this is just to kind of test the mechanism. What you do is you take the string, you pull it back till it rests on the two pegs. You see the string stops right here. And you take your arrow, place the arrow on the string, you let the knock lock on there, and you drop the arrow forward, and now it's ready to go. So the way you fire this is you just aim, and then you push down with your thumb. There it is. One of the neat things about this is that without an arrow on the string, the bow won't go. See that? You can push this down, but the string's not going to release without an arrow knot to add a little extra, to give it that little extra push. So there it is. So now I'm going to finish up the tiller, or the stock. I'm just going to sand it a little more, and then I'm going to paint it. And then I'll show you how to attach the prod. Alright, so I've gone ahead and I've painted everything. So the stock, I just painted black, really simple. I painted everything. The only thing is I took the little lever off and I painted that separately. And on the tiller I painted this sort of olive green color. Now before we actually go ahead and attach the prod to the stock or tiller, we're going to be building a captive arrow rest. And what this is going to do is it's basically something that's just going to be over the front here, and it's going to hold the arrows in place, hold them down, so that when it shoots, it not only holds the bolt straight, but if you move the crossbow, if you aim down, if you jump or you shake or you flip it over, the bolt isn't going to come out of here, it isn't going to fall out. It'll be held captive right in here. Another thing that we're going to be doing with that is keeping the top open, so that when you load this, you can take your bolt, lock it, so put it on the knock, lock it, and then drop it forward. That way, you know, it's easy, it's safe. Your hands are never in the way of the bolt or in the path of the string. So let's get started with that. Okay, so to make this rest, you're going to need a couple things. This is a 2x4. It also happens to be my flattening jig that I used for this bow. This is going to be a form that we're actually going to heat some PVC onto this to replicate fitting this onto the crossbow stock itself. The next thing you're going to need is the 1 1/4 inch PVC pipe that we made the stock out of. This is going to form the main body of our rest. You're going to need 2 toothbrushes. Whatever kind of bristles you can find, you know, plain, it doesn't have to be wavy or anything. All this is going to do is that when we set this up, they're going to come over here and be glued onto the sides and hold and just barely touch the arrow shaft, so that the arrow can move a little bit, the bristles will allow the movement, and the arrows or the fletching can pass around the bristles without getting really chewed up. And it'll also keep if you could see, it would keep the bolt from just falling out. The first thing I'm going to do is cut this off, because all we need is this portion of the brush. There you go. So here's one. So I'm just going to cut the other one.